Welcome to Cineworld again. It seems like about 5 minutes since we were here last year, so thanks for coming out on a bit of a dark February morning. We've got quite a packed agenda, as usual, to get through. And what we're going to do today, a few slightly different things. I'm going to ask our Minister, Deputy Kirsten Morell, to get up in a moment. And then we're going to look back on the work we did last year briefly, talk about some of the key initiatives for this year, of course. And also, we're doing something a bit different this year. So somebody who is in the audience, you know who you are, Ed, said, well, you do a lot of new stuff at the annual reviews, but you don't often go back and talk about what happened and give the updates. It's all new. So we're going to have a few video inserts to give you updates on some of the key projects like Smart Fields, Data Trust, and our Startup Bootcamp. You're going to hear from Julie Green, who's come from the Impact Canada team, quite a long way. Julie's had the full Jersey experience, including BA losing her luggage, but she's got it now. She hasn't had the fog yet, fingers crossed. And then, so Julie's coming from Impact Canada. Then you're going to hear from Nathan Elstub, who's the exec chair of the Nesta Impact Committee. Do you start to see a bit of a theme there emerging? Being interviewed by our own Professor Dame Wendy Hall. And then we're really pleased to be joined by His Excellency Viljar Lubi, the Estonian ambassador to the UK, and we're going to have Jess Dunstan quizzing him later on about the secret to his country's success. But first of all, I'd like to invite our minister up. We've been very lucky with the ministers we've had at Digital Jersey. We had Philip Ozef, who's here. We've had Lyndon Farnham, who might be here. I think he said he was possibly coming. But we've now got Kirsten Morell and Deputy Alex Curtis. And Kirsten, I keep reminding people that you used to write articles on this stuff. So, you know, we expect you to understand our stuff more quickly, so no pressure. So I want to particularly focus on just a few things that were highlights for me of last year. And you saw that figure of 1,400 people going through courses. That's thanks to government supplying funding through the Fiscal Stimulus Fund, the Economic Recovery Fund. But it's been really great to see the hub and the academy full of people coming in who'd not done a course like that before. And they might have started off doing a digital marketing course, which I now call the gateway drug to Digital Jersey courses. But they then come back for an AI course, and they come back for Power BI, and come back for all sorts of different courses. And it was great to see the messages and the feedback from people who signed up for one course and then signed up for another. And there are still courses on our website. We hope to keep expanding those. So if you've not had a look, please go to the website and see. I also want to talk about the bootcamp. One of the things that we ended last year on, I was really pleased, is we went out, and everyone talks about Jersey being a small place. So we went out and looked for applicants for our first Startup Bootcamp. That's a bootcamp we're working with our partners, working with TechX, PwC, and JT, and also NatWest Group. And we went out, and we were really pleased. We had 39 applicants for 5 places. The team shortlisted 12, and we've actually given places to 7 of those, and the other 5 as well, that perhaps wouldn't have benefited quite as much from the boot camp, we are going to be supporting in another way. I think that's amazing in a small place like that we got that many great ideas that were worthy of support. And you're going to see a bit more information about that later on, and that's something to keep an eye on this year and the people in those companies. And I wanted to talk about events. They're a really key part of building the community in Digital Jersey, and I think we ran some great events. I think looking at lots of familiar faces here who joined us for them. And it's a really key part. You see with other industries like the finance industry, for example, how people get together, they celebrate. And we're really pleased. Last year, we had our biggest ever tech awards. It's going to be bigger again this year. We're doing it up at the showground. I think we filled the showground pretty much already. I think there were a few places left. But that is something else we are going to keep going with this year. So in terms of looking at some of the highlights of this year, as Kirsten said, the launch of the Technology Accelerator program is really key. So last year, we did a lot of work with government. The previous government passed through the States Assembly the proposition approving the reserving of the 20 million for the Technology Fund. You may have seen that we went out to tender and we appointed Challenge Works from Nesta in the UK because they had developed the plans for Impact Canada, for example, and other things you're going to hear about later on. And with a lot of work has been going on, not just internally, but meeting with innovators in the community, meeting with stakeholders, lots of work with government. We can't tell you the full details right now, But you'll expect to hear that over the coming months as we finalise plans and then go out to launch, hopefully by the middle of this year. So that's going to be a really big part of the Digital Jersey workload this year. Skills, as ever, Kirsten said there's a lot of work still to do. There still is. Last year, some of you may have seen that it was great not only that we published a refresh of our own digital skills strategy, but the Education Department published a new digital education strategy. And so there's a lot of work being going on there. It's great to see the new government really prioritising this. And we expect to work closely with government to expand the number of courses, work across the whole ecosystem, so Skills Jersey, Highlands, etc., to make sure that we offer the workers of Jersey what they really need to upskill in the modern world. And then we want to carry on with the sort of local tech entrepreneur support, our Springboard service in terms of introducing people to investors, helping them get their business plans ready, to investor ready, the boot camp and things like that is going to be a really key priority. We're still going to look to bring in the right startups, founders, tech entrepreneurs, etc., to the island as usual, but there's a lot increasing homegrown talent we need to nurture. And one that looks, for the policy wonks in the room, there are a few of them, I've seen them already come in, a few of them wearing ties, you can tell, not all of them, sorry Tom, can't see your ears. One of the things that we often struggle with at Digital Jersey is the digital economy is harder to monitor than, say, financial services, tourism, and agriculture. You see it, the different companies within the digital sector hidden away in different parts of the stats. We're going to be doing a lot of work as part of Tech Fund, but also as Digital Jersey, looking at what the impact is of the digital sector, digital technology, etc., in the economy this year. So that's going to be a really key piece of work, and I think we want everyone's cooperation in that as well. And in terms of all the other things, as I say, we could have listed them for you. So that's what you're going to see here is a list, and there's all sorts of things that we haven't even had chance to talk to you about. I only remembered, I think a couple of days ago, we just signed an MOU with MasterCard, who we work with, obviously, the government through COVID in terms of the Spend Local card, and we've signed an MOU with them, for example, to use Jersey as a test bed, but a long list of things. And what we're going to do is, because we've got so many great speakers, you want to hear from them and new voices rather than the old voices like me. What we're going to do later on today is send you all a copy of our operational plan for this year by email. That has about 50 objectives for the year. So go through that, have a look. If there's anything you're particularly interested in, you want to reach out, get involved, ask a question, please do.